Hey guys, this is Red and Blue, and today all I want to say is all I do is win, 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 no matter what. We did it. PSG won in Barcelona last night, as you're seeing this a few hours ago. We managed to squeeze out a 2-1 win in the dying moments of the game. Gonçalo Ramos, our super sub, who we all love and never doubted for even a second, scoring the second one. Barcelona had initially opened the scoring line through Ferran Torres in the first half. Mayulu had equalized late in the first half. And so, Gonçalo Ramos on a pass from Hakimi on the 90th or so minute gives us the win. A very close game, a hard-fought battle, but ultimately, given the amount of players we had missing, a really big win for us, a really significant one. For anyone who needed more proof, really the ultimate demonstration that we deserved our Champions League last year, and that, despite what Barça fans like to think or like to delude themselves with, they wouldn't have beaten us. They wouldn't have beaten us in Munich. They wouldn't have beaten us in May. And they didn't beat us yesterday in Barcelona, in Montjuic, with Lamine Yamal, with players missing on both sides, but probably more players missing on the PSG side. We still get the win. So 2 games in the Champions League, 2 wins. Great start for us. If you remember where we were last year, that makes a difference. That feels a lot better. And I think, a lot of things to pick out and talk about in this game. And interestingly, I'm going to compliment myself because, you'd better be doing it yourself. No one else is gonna. But all of the points that I laid out in my preview of the game, I think are still relevant and are still significant and are still actually a good way to talk about the game. So I'm not going to try to be smarter than myself or anything. I'm just going to go through them again. If you remember, the preview, I had talked about 3 areas of battle. And the first one was the battle of the left wing of PSG, and this Titans clash at the summit, however you want to call it, thriller in Montjuic, of Lamine Yamal versus Nuno Mendes. And I think ultimately it was a hard-fought battle. It was a very hard-fought battle, but Nuno turned in a world-class performance. He didn't always dominate Yamal. He got a yellow card and came a little bit close to getting a second one. Ultimately, we had to bring in Hernandez to finish off the game. But the fact is that despite really having talents we probably haven't seen at this level since Messi, the reality is that Yamal was pretty well constrained. He had a few really dangerous situations, in particular in the first 5-10 minutes of the game. But then progressively, Nuno Mendes got the better of him, Pacho got the better of him, Vitinha got the better of him a couple of times. I think ultimately he was pretty well controlled. There's still moments where he passes, obviously, because you never get to 100%. But I think overall, given the level of talent, give it to Nuno. And more importantly than this, what is significant as well is that Nuno did not only turn in a masterclass performance in defense, but he also contributed offensively, because on the first goal, it is him who's running through the left flank and passing the ball on to Mayulu, who then scored. And if you remember, once again, sorry, I'm going to bring it back to the preview, but in the preview, I remember distinctly saying, Jules Koundé likes to go forward, likes to combine with Yamal and try to contribute offensively. How are they going to be able to do that? And what happens if there's a turnaround and they have to run after Barcola, or in this case, Nuno Mendes? And this is exactly what happened on the first goal of PSG. Jules Koundé goes forward, tries to combine with Yamal, doesn't really work out. Nuno gets the ball back. He passes it, I think it's Fabian Ruiz, so he passes it forward, combines with Fabian Ruiz, who passes him the ball back. And at this point, he's running full speed ahead. passing by like 1-2 Barcelona players and then curving his run to go back towards the middle, and just creating incredible mayhem in the Barcelona defense, who don't know if they need to go at him, move back. They don't know if they need to like open space or like what Mayulu is doing at their back. And so it's perfectly coordinated, perfectly timed. Nuno creates the mayhem, and exactly at the time where they might be starting to get their bearing, he passes the ball to Mayulu, who's got a bit of space in between the two defenders. Eric Garcia falls on his butt for like some reason that I still don't understand. And yeah, Mayulu like gets the shot away and puts it past Chesney, and it's a goal. And it's amazing when you think of like Nuno Mendes is literally playing, he's got the best right back in the world in his area, like the second in the Ballon d'Or. And, you know, like probably like objectively, like the most like individually gifted player in world football right now against him. And yet he still like fearlessly goes like 80 meters forward, sprinting to deliver, like to create mayhem in the defense and deliver an assist to Mayulu. And I think it's actually like it speaks to him. It speaks to the performance. Sadly, on the left wing, Barcola wasn't as impactful, but Barcola and Mbaye actually switched position a lot. So Mbaye ended up playing on the left, which I actually like a lot. I think like Mbaye, we've got to stop playing him on the right. He's always better when he plays on the left. But yeah, ultimately, like the left side was really Nuno's side last night, and yeah, Nuno de Oro, I think, is the thing to remember. At the same time, like that first goal of PSG is actually like a very good illustration of the things that didn't happen in the first half. And I switched to battle in midfield because that first half for me was very much the battle in midfield taking place. I think initially Barcelona came on the pitch with the intention of narrowing the playing field as much as possible, of creating as much density in the middle as possible, as a way of taking away any space and like having an easier time cutting any passing line. And so in the first half, what I see is that they don't really go out of their way to press our defenders. The pressing on our central defense and on our goalkeeper is very light at that level and very slow to move forward. And they'd rather, you know, stay Ferran Torres, like be at the level of Vitinha, and then all of their midfield and defense, because their defense is quite high as well, like from both sides, having a lot of density right in the middle of the pitch. And I think for us, it creates a lot of difficulty. And you see in the first half, you see passing mistakes from Vitinha, you see passing mistakes from Mbaye Zaire-Emery, you see like little combinations between the fullbacks and the midfielders that don't really work out, and the ball ended in a throw-in. And we give away a lot of balls like this, and I think like we lose out a lot of opportunities like this, and I think we're generally dominated and, you know, frankly, like a little bit beaten in this midfield battle. And you know, it gets better in the second half, but what's actually interesting is that I think Barcelona are really the ones who are giving up their winning plan and their winning approach. And I'm not entirely sure what happens, because like, to go back to the first goal of Mayulu, it's exactly what happens is that this is, like I said, the first time where like Jules Koundé and Lamine Yamal both move forward and try to, you know, create something on the right, but also like press fairly aggressively when they lose the ball. And Nuno like straight away manages to get past that press, and straight away you can see that there's danger at the back of it and that there's big spaces at the back of it. And so when you see that, I don't see why in the second half Barcelona players come on the pitch and all of a sudden they actually start pressing our central defense and our goalkeeper like a lot more aggressively. And the effect is exactly the same, which is all of a sudden we've got more spaces in midfield. As soon as you beat that first line of press, which to be honest is good, but it's not like world class. So a lot of time we actually beat it relatively easily. All of a sudden, Vitinha has a lot more space, a lot more time. Our midfielder have a lot more options. When our fullback go forward, all of a sudden, we can pass the ball in the right timing. And ultimately, it puts us in a position to take advantage of the one big fundamental weakness of the Barcelona team, which is the boatload of space that they have at the back of their defense, the boatload of space that they have. And I think in the first half, because our midfield is so squeezed and does not have the time and the space to get it moving, we have to rely, to take care of this, we have to rely on long balls from our defenders. And you see it a couple of times. You see long balls from Pacho, long balls from Zabarni, trying to go straight over the top to Mayulu, to Barcola, to Mbaye, and trying to find them in the space and time it so that their run coincides with the ball. Extremely difficult to do this way. Honestly, like there's one or two where it kind of works a little bit, but most of the time it's easy to deal with for Barcelona defense, and they can get the ball back and take possession. In the second half, very different. All of a sudden, it's not Pacho and Zabarni and so on who are like sending those balls. It's Vitinha and Fabian Ruiz, and they're like 20, 30 meters closer to where the ball is supposed to go. And so all of a sudden, that's when it's real trouble for the Barcelona defense. And that's when, like in the second half, you see us creating a lot more opportunities like this. And by default, winning this battle of midfield, which I don't understand, like why Barcelona is just like shooting themselves in the foot here. So that's like my view on it. Quite curious if you guys think of something. I think as well the last thing on midfield, which is interesting, is that by the end of the second half, you can see that the Barcelona players are physically dominated. And it's also something that I've mentioned, I think, before, is that for me, I think the way our team is built, I do think that the English teams are actually like, or like the bane of our existence, like the worst possible thing. Because, when we're facing a team who's got a lot of physicality, it's a challenge for us because we're not able to respond in kind. But the reality is that even with our subs, even with players like shaky fitness levels and so on, we are like far ahead of what even a leading Spanish team can put on the field. And we've seen this against Inter in the final of the Champions League. We've seen this against Real or against Atletico in the Club World Cup. And we're seeing it to a lesser degree now because the gap is reducing because of the trouble on our side. But we do have a physical advantage, which allows us to finish the game a lot stronger than Barcelona. And we have the last 10 minutes, honestly, we've got 2-3 like very, very clear goal-scoring chances, and we get the winning goal. And yes, that advantage is also credit to our midfield who's been working out for the whole game. And then, like the third point that I had in my preview is the battle of the subs. We knew we were going to have a lot of players missing, so the question was like, can a Mayulu rise to the occasion? Can a Kangin Lee rise to the occasion? Can a Mbaye Zaire-Emery rise to the occasion, or even a Barcola? Versus like on the Barça side, can Dani Olmo or Rashford or their left back Martin, I think it is, or their goalkeeper like rise to the occasion? I think obviously our subs did really well, and I think Mayulu scoring is a clear sign of this, and then Ramos coming on the pitch and scoring is also a clear sign of it. I think Mbaye was pretty interesting, like I said, on the left more than on the right. At the same time, Rashford had a pretty good game on the Barca side. He gives the assist on their goal, and he creates a couple of chances for them. So yeah, I don't think it's a clear-cut win one way or the other. I think our subs didn't really disappoint, which is really like what we were asking of them. They produce a strong game. They clearly rise to the level of the occasion. And yeah, for a player like Mbaye to get I think it probably his first start in the Champions League. Player like Njantou coming on the pitch for 10 minutes again. For kids like this. It's great. It happens in the best possible way. We get the win. We give them time to grow and opportunities to learn. So it's really like the best that we could hope for. Individually, I think you can discuss the individual performances. I definitely think we would have been a lot better off with our front three, or even with Joao Neves. But at the end of days, like there's no one who's turning in like a really catastrophic or problematic performance, which at this level is, just amazing in and of itself. So anyway, this is like kind of what I had for you guys on this Barcelona PSG game. Nuno de Oro, I think Nuno Mendes, man of the match, and relatively clearly a really enjoyable, like not really enjoyable because it wasn't the most enjoyable game to watch of all time, I think, but really enjoyable in terms of being able to rise past the injuries that we have, rise past the challenges that we're putting in front of us, rise past Barcelona clamoring that there's a better team, and really like dig deep to find that last minute win. There's something always like really satisfying about this drama. And yes, this game ends like this. 2 days of group phase, 6 points on the board. We're looking good. We're going to be playing Leverkusen next, but it will be after the international break. For now, our next game is going to be against Lille this weekend. So our priority is going to be on resting, finding that little bit of fitness, remaining in the tank for that Lille game, and then we have an international break to rest up, get some of our injured players back. We'll have the return of Dembele, the return of Doué, the return of Marquinhos. So hopefully at that point, like we can start looking stronger again, and start increasing our level as well. So anyway, let me know what you thought of this game. Do you agree with my analysis of this? Did I miss anything? Did you see anything else? Who was your man of the match? Let me know in the comments. So I've got an idea. And please, as always, do leave a like on this video. Please subscribe to the channel. Hit the bell to get notified. Do all of those things. And don't forget, apparently, even in Montjuic, 3 wins in a row. And so in Barcelona, ici c'est Paris!